Hey guys, welcome back to another lore video. Today we're going to be talking about why no one knew who the Sith were in the Star Wars galaxy. But before we begin, please be sure to like and subscribe to the video so you never miss a lore video from us. So, the most famous enemy in all of Star Wars is the Sith, the dark counterpart to the Jedi and Force users who have no regard for others or the living Force itself. But for such the epitome of evil and being the archenemies of everyone that we know in these series, why did the general public not know who the Sith were? Why was it so odd to people that there might be bad people carrying lightsabers and using the Force for evil? Well, to look at this, we have to look at a few different aspects of the Star Wars universe, starting with its history. To be blatantly honest, for most people in the Star Wars galaxy, the Sith were a non-factor. You'd have to go far, far back in time before any of the 9 movies for Sith to be anywhere near prominent. As a matter of fact, we have to go almost 3 to 4,000 years back in time to go back to the Knights of the Old Republic era. This was the era in which the Sith were really prominent. This was where they had numbers that equaled and rivaled the Jedi, and they would have large-scale conflicts. There were even larger wars before this between the Sith and the Jedi, but this was the last confirmed era that the Sith were really, really prominent. There's a reason for this, too. This was their last great war, and after this, the Sith were more or less wiped out. And this eventually led to them fading from the minds of the people. Even during the Knights of the Old Republic era, before the Sith re-emerged as a prominent empire, their relics and their culture were still prevalent. However, after the Old Republic, this almost all disappeared, and that comes into our second factor, the suppression by the Jedi. The Jedi, after the Old Republic era, though we don't know specifically when this happened, seem to have either destroyed or collected Sith artifacts and stored them away. This removal of these things from the general knowledge of the public really led to the dying of knowledge of the Sith in general. Soon, people only knew that the only Force-sensitive individuals were the Jedi. While there were a few other different types of Force sensitives, most people thought that was more superstition, and even a lot of people didn't think the Jedi were real or didn't have the powers that they claimed to. So because of this suppression, this led to many people not even understanding what a Sith was. So during the Clone Wars era, when the Sith started to re-emerge again, albeit in much, much reduced numbers, it became a bit of a confusing factor for the Republic at large. We actually see this in the episodes where Darth Maul and Savage Opress emerge, and people have no idea what a red lightsaber wielder is. They just assume they're rogue Jedi, which we know they are not. And the last real aspect that tied into why no one knew who the Sith was just that at large in the galaxy, nobody knew that much about the Force. The Jedi had more or less co-opted most Force sensitives into their order, despite this not necessarily being what the Jedi practice should have been, and they had also acquired the greatest deal of Force-based knowledge in the galaxy at large. Because of this, nobody else really studied it, and with that lack of knowledge, there was really no understanding of what a Force sensitive actually was, what they could become, and what they had been throughout history. This was just the general reason why the Sith weren't known. The last remaining factor, though, was that the Sith themselves had chosen to go underground. Post the Old Republic era and the fall of the Sith Empire, Darth Bane had instituted the Rule of Two, the rule that dictated that there can only be 2 Sith at any time, a master and an apprentice. This had greatly reduced their numbers from the once great empire, but kept their order alive indefinitely, as there would be no majority of Sith to fight each other and nearly wipe themselves out. All of these factors coalesced, and is why the Sith were eventually able to overtake the galaxy. It's hard to fight a threat that most people just don't know exists. So, I hope that helped you guys understand why nobody knew who the Sith were, and if you want more lore, please check out the channel, because we've got a lot more coming and a lot already here. Bye!